Ahoy Arisen, how you going? This is Dragon's Dogma 2 Overlooked Mechanics, Secrets and Details. You might have missed part 5. If you haven't seen the other 4, check them out. The links will be in the pinned comment. And this is not the last video in the series, but I'm definitely taking a break from it to concentrate on other things. More info about it in the outro. As always, if there's something you'd like to add or share your discoveries, leave me a comment. Cheers. Number 10. There is a way to prevent wandering pawns in the wilds from interrupting you. You know, from initiating this forced dialogue with you to give you their sales pitch. So they don't do that when you have your weapons out. If you're playing Dragon's Dogma 2 on PC, you're probably using a mod that disables wandering pawns forced dialogues, but if you are a console player or don't like using mods, this is a little something to keep in mind. You can spot the adoring fans from afar. They usually hail at you when they see you, but that means they definitely will stop you and talk to you. So as soon as you unsheath your weapon, they go like, oh, okay, no, sorry, like this monkey from a meme, and continue on their way. It's funny though that once you sheath your weapon and they're close by, they immediately start talking. Another interesting detail is that when you play solo, they don't come up to you at all, and there's a unique dialogue if you try hiring them.
I see you travel without your loyal pawn. You will need to rectify that should you seek my service.
Number 9. NPCs in towns do not react to you if you have your staff or archer staff out. This is something that I missed completely because I'm not a big fan of mages and sorcerers. I do have a healer mage in my group most of the time, but I don't really like playing as one. Should probably do a solo mage run at some point to challenge myself, but yeah, it's a pretty cool little detail. Your staff looks like a walking stick and people don't get mad at you when you have it out. Another little discovery that I made recently is that NPCs in Nameless Village do not react to your unsheathed weapons at all, be it a staff or a sword. I mean, they're criminals, but I don't think it's a thought out detail. I think it's due to most of the NPCs there having this unique suspicious animation. You know, like when you come close to a group of them, they immediately start walking away in different directions, like they were talking shit about you. And then number 8, there's a ring in Dragon's Dogma 2 that heals you when you kill enemies, right? It's called Ring of Regeneration, and it can be purchased from multiple merchants, for example from Morris in Checkpoint Rest Town. Did you know though that it also heals you when you break stuff? Yeah! The description says, a ring bearing a mysterious power that invigorates the spirit. The wearer recovers health upon defeating a foe. Very straightforward, right? You kill an enemy, you restore 50 health. So I don't know if it's on purpose, but destroying crates, barrels, little throwable rocks also invigorates you and restores your health. It doesn't restore your lost gauge though, but it still can be very handy if you're stuck somewhere with no curatives and your healer is incapacitated. I do carry one around with me. Still, it feels like a little oversight. Maybe it will be patched out later. Number 7, this one a lot of people know, but I want to mention it here anyways because I learned about it just recently. You can play catch with simple pawns. In Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, you can play catch with any pawn, but in Dragon's Dogma 2, it's only possible with pawns that have simple inclination. You can grab a bunny or a pig and throw it at your simple pawn. They catch it, well, most of the time, and throw it back at you. It's absolutely useless, but it's fun, and there are a couple of unique dialogue lines, so go check it out if you haven't already. Also, I read somewhere that other pawns in your group can comment on you playing catch with a simple pawn, and supposedly kind-hearted pawns sometimes ask you if they could keep the animal as their pets, but I don't know if it's true. I didn't hear it myself. Anyways, this one brings us to number 6. You can catch objects thrown at you. It's one of the what if things that you usually discover by accident, but yeah, when you see a goblin carrying a rock or an explosive barrel to throw at you, you can catch it mid-air and throw it back at them. It's not a best tactic to, you know, defeat a group of goblins, but when performed successfully, it makes you feel like a complete badass. It's one of those things I was 99% sure were possible, but I haven't tried, so it's good to know that it actually does work. Number 5, alternate armor looks. Some armors look different depending on your vocation. A good example is Beastren Pride. You can wear it as a warrior, as a fighter, and obviously as a warfarer. So when you are a warrior, both of your arms are clad in plates, but if you are a fighter that uses a shield, only your sword arm is. Though with the shield removed, as you can see, Beastren Pride looks just like the warrior version with both arms covered in armor. My guess is it is to avoid nasty clipping issues, but it's a fun detail. And by the way, if you are a warfarer, you can actually see your armor changing in real time when using the rearmament skill. And on top of that, this is something that I noticed just recently. When you change your weapons, the arisen scar on your chest glows up. It's Pretty cool. There are numerous armors in the game that look different depending on your vocation or your weapon of choice, and also some armors look different when you have a cape equipped. Number 4, rope cart traversals. There are rope carts in Batal and in Volcanic Island to make your traversal easier, but I don't know, I actually find them pretty useless and annoying, but here are a few tricks to make them, less annoying. First of all, this is definitely on me, but I didn't know that you can rotate the wheel faster by rotating the left stick on your controller. Secondly, if you want to avoid harpies, griffins or phantoms attacking you while you're using the rope cart, you can swap with your pawn, then immediately start a dialogue with your other pawn and leave it there. For some reason, enemies don't attack you if you are in the middle of the dialogue. They're very polite. Even if they're right there flying around. They will start attacking you though as soon as you leave the dialogue screen.
Phantasms draw near!
Ice attacks would only be to its advantage. We'll have to try something else.
Number 3, this one's pretty useless as well. Have you met these groups of 4 roaming around in Vermont? It's pretty obvious that they're imposters pretending to be arisen, so 1 arisen and 3 pawns that accompany them. It's quite a letdown that there are no quests related to these fake arisen, but if you actually kill them, a new enemy type appears in your history tab in the Felled Enemies section, and that's how they're called, imposters. Again, it's a small detail, maybe there was something related to imposters, maybe a quest that was cut from the game, because they never attack you themselves, and the only way for you to know for sure they're called imposters is to attack them and kill them, and then find this new entry in the history tab. Number 2, you can save your pawns if a drake grabs them to give them Dragon's Plague cooties. In one of the previous videos I mentioned that you can interrupt a drake from casting any spells or from flying away by using Solemnity or Prescribed Tranquility grimoires. This one's much more simple. When a drake grabs your pawn to, indoctrinate them, you can grab its leg and push it, and it works every single time. I don't know if it has anything to do with your Arisen's weight or height or any other stats like knockdown power, but in my case it feels like I drop a drake prone a second before it finishes its spell. Whenever I see a drake performing a Dragon's Plague grab, I see an opportunity to deliver some free shots to its heart. Knowing this mechanic actually makes you realize how vulnerable drakes can be. And finally, number 1, this one is in regards to Dullahans. Dullahans are the rarest enemies in the game, pre-unmoored world of course, and I'd like to share some info on how to find one if you are in dire need of Dullahan bones they drop. So here are a few things to keep in mind. Dullahans spawn next to bridges, they spawn a few hours before dusk, and you have 10 or so minutes to beat them before the sun rises, before they despawn. So if you know for certain that you are close to a Dullahan spawn point, make sure your sundial clock in the menu looks like this. This one here, sunrise, you need to make sure the sun is really close to this point, and also you should have a bunch of stars on top. There are multiple Dullahan spawn points on the map, and the one I find the most convenient is the one next to the bridge east from Border Watch Outpost. I usually sleep until nighttime, then spend time sitting on a bench, and then head out there immediately. It doesn't work every single time, I'd say it spawns once every 3 to 4 nights, but it does work. But then again, the best way to farm Dullahan bones of course is to make it to the unmoored world. Since the time quote unquote doesn't work there, the spawn rate is much higher. To be honest though, I don't really care about the mats, I just like fighting them a lot. So like I said, this is where I think I need to stop with Dragon's Dogma 2 Overlooked Mechanics series. There's nothing left to talk about. I have a few more Dragon's Dogma 2 scripted long form videos planned for June, and I also want to do a few challenge runs. I'm doing a solo run, you can check it out. I might be live right now here on YouTube, and after that I want to do a hard mode run where enemies deal like 5 times more damage to you, you deal 0.1 damage to them, and all the equipment is in the chests out in the wild, and everything in shops is like 10 times more expensive. Obviously we're going to play Shadow of the Earth Tree, I'm very excited for it, and there are a few more games coming I really want to play and cover. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 for example, I'm a big fan of the first one, and I really want to play the second one, cover it. Can't wait. Anyways, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. See ya. Every single time I plan to record something, this annoying thing just poof, poof.